Talking about shaping, what kind of quiver do you do? You surf today?
I still ride just short boards. I ride, my normal board would be a 6.0 or 6.1 thruster. Yeah, if you had have told me when I was like in my late 20s that I'd be 54 and still riding a 6-foot board, I would have laughed my head off at you. I would have been like, no, I'll be on a longboard or I'll be riding something big, thick.
But you're in good shape, bro.
Yeah, I've kept myself in pretty good shape, and I'm still really passionate about riding small boards. And it's funny, I finished my career and I had a few years off, not training too much, just taking it a little bit easier physically. But after about 3 years, it's probably the worst I ever felt, so physically and mentally. So I just started training again and surfing, trying to surf the best I possibly could. I think we do it for so long, your body just is like, you slow down, your body goes, whoa, what are you doing?
Something's wrong.
What's the problem here? So, yeah, ever since then, I've just always training, go to the gym and make sure my body's in good shape.
I can't see. How old are you?
54.
Oh, good shape.
So I'm still really passionate. It still keeps me really happy to go for a good surf and surf well. And I think I've just for my life path, it keeps me happy doing this. So for as long as I possibly can, I'm just going to train to surf good.
Yeah, and I know your surf is very beautiful and radical. You was one of the most radical surfers in the tour at this time. Talk about this polished style and the radical, because it's beautiful be radical. Like today the surfs, I like to see the guys who really hit the wave, do power and beautiful, under control.
Yeah, I think for me, even when I was very young, speed, power and flow were three things that I'd always think about. And linking turns really good. I was always in my head about making sure turns look really good, but one turn coming out of that one and going into the next one really well. And I just living at the same beach as Mark Richards, I think we got to see him every day when he was home from the tour, and I think that had a lot to do with how even though I'm goofy foot and a little bit different, it has a lot to do with the way I surf. He was very smooth and radical, and it was just the way I always wanted to surf. He's just with speed, power and flow, and
beautiful.
And I still kind of go for the same philosophy now, is just fast and use my power and full clean turns.
Yeah, no, and that's why you have training beautiful and a lot of athletes. Parkinson, you did. Who you train?
Yeah, I started my coaching career with Joel Parkinson and helped him win a world title. My coaching career, funnily enough, started with Mark Occhilupo. We were on the tour together when he won the world title, and we used to coach each other.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we used to travel around the world on the tour and coach each other, and then it was kind of like I really enjoyed talking, and strategizing for, in that way. And then I started working with Joel Parkinson. And then, it just led to really enjoying, Rico, you know what it's like, all those years you're on the tour and you keep all your strategies and all your knowledge to yourself because you're in a competitive environment. It's so nice to go and give all your energy and your expertise that you've learned. Yeah, I did the tour for like 22 years, so everything I learned going to all these locations around the world, I learnt so much about the place and how to ride the waves.
Like a treasure,
And then I realised I never really thought I was going to be a coach, but then I just kind of was like, wow, I have all this knowledge of all the different locations.
I can give away.
I can give back to the young kids that are trying to, get their dream of being a world champion or just a professional surfer or just do their, achieve their goals. Yeah. And it feels really good to pass on all that knowledge.
And there's so many things the coach can do it, Like you go in a new place, like example, you go Sunset, when I went there, I didn't know how the current go, how to get out the water, try to don't go cameland, without a board, The next to the beach have the reef, don't get out there, because you get cut, watch out for boneyards, the north swell, the west swell, how to, when you lose the board, there's a million.
So much. And it's such a competitive environment now that all the surfers of today just realize they need to have all the information to kind of shortcut some learnings that might lose them a heat, you know. So all the top guys have got coaches here in Saquarema with them.
That's very nice.
And you just, on the day of the contest, you're just an extra set of eyes and ears, checking everything and making sure and giving them confidence if they're riding the right board.
This is very important because the guy have two boards. He don't know which one to go out. He like both, but probably have this. Oh, I like that, but I don't like that. I say no, the other one's better. Go in this one. Keep
For sure. I'm lucky enough that I grew up in a surfboard factory, and my dad gave me a lot of knowledge about surfboards, and I feel like that's one of my assets as a coach too, is helping surfers choose which board to ride and educate them on. I like to educate them on fins and why the board does what, not just ride that one because it looks good. Anyone that I work with is, I get the board, I tell them this is why it's doing that. See this part of the board? That's why it's pushing water a little bit. See this foil or the rockers like this? I never just go, oh, no, that one doesn't look any good. This is always trying to educate my surfers why the surfboard is doing what it is so that, hey, if I'm not there one day, they've already, they understand what the different boards are doing.
Very good you talk, because I shaped for around 57 years, in a long time. And a lot of surfers, great surfers, they don't know any shit about the board. They just know the board is good or the board is bad, right?
I know, it's amazing how many great surfers in the world just like pick it up and go, oh yeah, it feels all right. The volume feels good, and then they ride it and they're like, oh, I don't like this one. But it's a pretty important thing, because sometimes just changing the fins or telling them to ride it a little bit different, to draw different lines can make a board go really good. So it's a really, really important part of what's going on out there today.